Hello, welcome to the Feeling Podcast. We talk about different current problems.
Depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, how you think, and how you act. Fortunately, it is also treatable. Depression causes feelings of sadness and loss of interest in activities you used to enjoy. It can lead to a variety of emotional and psychical problems and can decrease your ability to function at work and at home. Depression stifles our desire to free ourselves from the past and plagues our present. Therefore, if this problem continues, we will turn the society into one full of empty ideas. If people hadn't been so selfish and put themselves in someone else's shoes, depression wouldn't exist. There are several problems that encompass the topic of depression. Among them are the issues of the body, since today the topic of the perfect bodies is very common among young people of our age. Since the idea of the ideal weight has affected a lot. If society stopped taking perfect bodies into account, this would not be such a big problem. Since if everyone had their own opinion about the ideal weight, this problem would not affect others. On the other hand, another of the problems with this topic is family pressure. Since nowadays it is very common to let ourselves be carried away by what our relatives advise us, which I consider that receiving advice from them is a good thing. But in fact, making decisions and not being aware of it can affect us because if the family had done things differently based on their own perspective of what is best for us, we would have been more free in our decisions. With these concrete facts that depression is a problem that is constant fight against ourselves, since overthinking things generates a lot of controversy and psychological damage. That is why if depression had not affected us, overthinking would not be a problem for us. Our mind, on the other hand, we must solve this problem by trying to raise awareness about this issue. If you help educate those around you, society will make better decisions.
Poverty is the condition characterized by severe deprivation of basic human needs, which includes other conditions such as access to food, drinking water, health, housing, education, among other things. Therefore, in the absence of one of the conditions, the ONU considers a state of poverty. That say, this is a global problem. So if this problem continues, we will see a lot more people suffering in the world. Poverty is one of the worst evils that a society or economy can present, signs it as a series of negative effects on society, which worse the standard of living. That's why if we have a market life plan and we have in mind that we have to work, we will avoid poverty and live. As for the solution of poverty, we find a situation similar to that of the causes. Depending on the territory where this problem is to be correct, it will be necessary to carry out a series of measures or others. If everyone had the initiative to work in a good place to meet needs, this problem wouldn't exist. Also, if the government supports the entire community by providing service, we wouldn't evade this problem. Finally, the measurement of poverty is carried out by a series of parameters that have been defined by a series of institutions. Then, if we had done things differently, a lot of lives would have been saved. I believe if we fight hunger, we would avoid pornography. If people hadn't been so irresponsible, there would not be poverty.
Bullying. Bullying is a problem that has been affecting many aspects focused on young people, and it takes place mainly in the school. For this, I can say if we educate people about this psychical and psychological damage caused by bullying with graphic and explicit demonstration, many young people will live their youth in peace. As well, if this problem continues, we will see more cases of psychological disorders, more school dropouts, or more young drug addicts. This having affecting this having happening over the years, and today it has become a more serious problem. And it takes causes many psychological problems, mainly such as depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, lack of friends, shame, among others. Bullying causes a school dropout. If the government begins to make the population aware of the negative effects of bullying, students will have a space where they will be able to trust, they will receive decent treatment, and this will make education progress. If the government began to establish laws where you who bully can go to jail, many students will be safe in their schools. This could be a solution, and bullies will think twice before attacking a partner. Besides, if the government gave money to the schools with the lowest percentages of bullying, many schools will be motivated by this. This also provides a lower rate of bullying in schools because it helps keep the percentage of bullying to a minimum. Also, if the government had done things differently, a lot of students' lives would have been saved. If people hadn't taken it lightly, many students wouldn't have experienced such traumatic situations. This will facilitate the eradication of bullying, and if the students hadn't experienced these traumatic situations, they wouldn't have been hit for drugs, suicide, or depression.
Racism is the hated rejection or exclusion of a person because of their race, skin color, ethnic origin, or their language, which prevents them from enjoying their human rights. It is caused by an irrational feeling of superiority of one person over another. Some examples that could be useful to stop this problem with society: if we better educate people about racism, we will avoid discrimination a little bit. If this problem continues, we will see many people with emotional problems and in disastrous society. If people stop discrimination around the world, lower the index of racism, and that will not be a problem. If the government put stricter restrictions on racism in the country, they will be more afraid, and it will not a bad thing. One of the common causes of racist attitudes can be found in the fear of what is different or of people who come from other countries, due to ignorance or lack of information about it. But if we change our way of thinking about the things that everyone goes through, we will change many lives if we spoke up or were more patient. Another good thing will be that if every day we did something different in life, we will talk about a better life for everyone in the world. In turn, we call if there were not so much inequality in the world in our social and economic aspects, there will not be so much discrimination in the world. Thank you.